starting off today playing this mono black Goblin's Nightmare Crypt deck. At least I'm kind of thinking of it as a Goblin's deck. We don't have a lot of Goblin synergies, but on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I had the backup deck to the key deck. It was just our normal Nightmare Crypt deck with Baron Helmet Zemo, and I had a couple copies of Azog Moria's Ruin in the deck. I think that Azog is a good upgrade to that archetype. We will play that at some point. The card is a 3 mana 1/3. When it enters, you destroy any creature on the battlefield, and that creature's controller amasses Goblin X, where X is that creature's power, and if you control the creature, you draw a card. So a nice removal spell that you can recur with Chthonian Nightmare is kind of the idea that it can also be a value engine for you. Kill your thing, draw a card, make an Orc army, sack the Orc army to Nightmare, rebuy the ETB triggers, etc. And so I was thinking about this deck, and then like as I was going to sleep last night or the night before, I think it was last night, I had the thought, Mudbutton Cursetosser. It fits really, really well into this like Phyrexian Tower Crypt of Agadeem shell, where you just get to play it on turn one, and then if you sack it to Tower, sack it to Flare of Malice. So I guess we'll talk about the Flare of Malice stuff with Mud Tosser, but say you sack it to Nightmare, you get to like kill their thing and start developing your board. It's really awesome. Now the problem with this card, is you have to behold a goblin to actually cast it for 1 mana. You have to behold a goblin. And so assuming that you're playing like the normal Nightmare shell, I'm thinking to myself, well, you can have 4 Cursetosser, you can have 4 Trawler, and you can have maybe 4 Azog, and like that's not too far away from being able to cast this kind of consistently. And I looked at every single legal black goblin, and then of course Warren Soultrader is also a goblin, and Warren Soultrader fits in this archetype pretty well. So that's kind of how we got here. Is I wanting to play Mudbutton Cursetosser and Azog in the Crypt of Agadeem shell, and I think the Warren Soultrader is the best spot for that. It also kind of means I think that like when you're playing Gravecrawler and Supplier and Cursetosser, and I do think Supplier is better than or maybe not better. Maybe I don't know. It's really important to play the Supplier, especially in your Nightmare Crypt deck. I end up cutting the eye twitch, so we just get to play a normal sideboard, and you have we have even a higher density of 1-drops than we do in the normal Crypt Nightmare deck. And so I did feel like we needed a few extra black goblins, and we're playing a couple copies of Taster of Wares. Maybe we should be playing more than this. I do think having a Sephiroth to go up on life gain is pretty nice, but Taster of Wares lets you take a card from your opponent's, or discard a card from your opponent's hand, and if it's an instant or sorcery, you can cast it as long as you have the Taster. Pretty good to recur with Chthonian Nightmare, kind of like the 3 mana 2/2 that Thoughtseize is your opponent. No space for overlords. Yeah, not a lot of space. Not a lot of space. Let me know what you would cut for overlords from the shell, maybe. But the deck filled up pretty fast. We're also trying a couple copies of this card. And card might impress us more than I think. The Sackville-Bagginses. When it enters, you can sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, you draw a card and you make a treasure token. So it is pretty good to curve Cursetosser into this card, or Supplier into this card, or sometimes Gravecrawler into this card. That's a good curve. And then whenever you sack a token, an opponent loses a life. So if you have more life points than your opponent, you can. It is a win con with Soultrader and Gravecrawler, so that's pretty cool. I'm not really sure how this card is going to play overall, but we'll see. Did find room for a Phoenix Fleet Airship in the sideboard. I've never liked Sephiroth's deck personally. 1 is fine. Yeah, I agree. So like one thing is the 3-drop clock is pretty. The 3-drops are pretty clogged, but I think it is important to have like a way to gain life in this archetype. And combo off if your life total is lower. So I agree. I've been lower on Sephiroth lately in like the more mid-rangey shell we've been playing. But yeah, certainly a more light goblin theme than some other shells we played in the past. Was it a flowering with the white tree build? I think the card's totally unplayable. I think even if your deck was full of like really good like aggressive legends, which don't exist in this format. Like there are not they're like my deck is so good against Ragavan. I guess we were on the draw. We do have the Apprentice Marionette. Okay, I'll take the static, the Fable, and maybe trade Marionette for both of these removal spells. I think it's probably fine. So like there are very few aggressive, cheap legendary creatures. The list is like Ragavan, which funny enough we are playing against right now. Felia, kinda. Sinu, maybe you could maybe say Sinu, but you have to do some work for Sinu. I don't know. There's just not that many. Most legendary creatures are like they're like value cards. You know what I mean? You're getting value off of them, and it's even if your deck was full of all this stuff, also just taking a turn off to play an anthem is not it's not good. That's a bad turn that you're taking when you're taking the turn off to just play an anthem. So it's like and then all of a sudden you're playing Isamaru in your deck in a format where Guide of Souls and Ocelot Pride are legal, and then it's like you play, okay yeah let's go Cursetosser, let's go Behold. I think I'd maybe just like to conceal the Soultrader. Yeah, Cursetosser it's such a strong card. I am gonna I think Thoughtseizes just to try to get this last card out of my opponent's hand because it could easily be a removal spell. And if it's a land, then we're happy enough. Okay, happy enough, I guess. Maybe this was a little bit cowardly. So yeah, again, I'm a big time hater of flowering. I remember testing for PT Barcelona and like flowering was a new card that had just came out, and like a lot of people were trying to. Like on our team, they were trying to build a deck with it, and I just really didn't get it then, and I really don't get it now. I just think it just ain't the format. What is Sinu? Sinu is okay, they keep a card on top. Sinu is a 2-mana 2-1 that if it's an exile and you attack with a legendary creature, you get to put it into play tapped and attacking. So you got to do some work for it. So I think this turn I'm gonna go Nightmare. Buyback. Marionette Apprentice. I think I'm just going to be playing out the Nightmare again here. This is a 2-3 Apprentice situation? I don't think so. I think I like this line. I love how you still haven't expanded the action windows. You don't have to scroll every time. Well, it just automatically puts it back there, and so I don't know, it's kind of tedious, but I should be in the habit. My opponent does not attack after and they discard 2 lands, so I guess that's good news for us. So maybe we go Nightmare back the Cursetosser. I think I'm just gonna cast a Soultrader, I guess. I think they don't have anything in their hand. There's just not really a card they could be holding on to. That's gonna be a problem with the Goblin Bombardment if we don't curse toss it. So we find another untapped land. So I can go untap Trawler down to 7, which is pretty painful. Oh, maybe. Sorry, I should have got an Apprentice back first, I think. So I'm down to 6. Okay, pass back. Crazy Flage, Raptor, and Ring used to be in their deck. And Gigantha. Which, honestly, like, this is a game where Gigantha would be, like, the most annoying shit ever, especially with the Serena of Glory. It's just like, oh, great. Like, we would have lost to Gigantha this game. Oh, they found this encampment. So I'm going to 1, right? I block the reflection. They sack target me, and then these. I mean, they could kill the Soul Trader if they wanted. I don't think they're gonna want to do that. So I'm glad to have this Cling to Dust in my hand to gain some life maybe this next turn. Probably not casting that right now. So I guess all I'm doing here is I'm going to buy back the Apprentice. I'm going to buy back Soultrader with Cling to Dust up. Could play around top deck Lightning Bolt. The thing is, I'm kind of in an interesting spot where, like, if they draw Guide or Pride or Ragavan, they're going to play it and they're going to sack it to Bombardment. And then I get to respond and gain the life with Cling. And it's like, it's so insanely unreasonable to play around Cling that I think I can afford to try to do that. So we do win game 1 here. We do win game 1. My general thinking is that in this matchup, I think that Cursetosser and Azog and Flare of Malice is like, that's a good removal suite against them, and I don't need to be in on Force of Despair. But I think I want to try 1 Force of Despair. I haven't played a lot of it in the matchup, but I think I'm gonna cut the Tasters. I think I'm gonna play the first Airship also. Not that I have 2. And then probably go down a Gravecrawler. Yeah, let's try this. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, the sub sound just gets auto muted. I need to add that to my warning list is to unmute it. Redbeard, the 3 years. Good to see ya. Did you see House of Mana's 10-0 Trudge list? So it's a 10-0, I'm assuming. You've linked me bird decks. But I'd love to see it if you could find me the right list. Dude, this hand, I think you got to keep this. This hand is so sick, but it needs to draw like any creature. We're up at the 35. Thank you. Welcome back. Okay, I think I can work with that. Let's play Crypt this turn. Okay, now this is a Belcher deck. Oh, this is the key deck. Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of Lady Octopus. I think she makes some sense here, though. Yeah, I think it looks cool. I don't know that it's going to actually be better than normal Belcher, but I do think that there is some big upside to playing the Moxen and Belcher. Certainly looks worth testing. Okay, my deck is very weak to Rest in Peace. I think let's just go to game 3. I do have Thoughtseizes for it. Maybe I play Taster of Wares. Maybe we have some hands that can just beat down against them. Maybe we have some Azog hands. Not too many, honestly. I think I'm gonna hope to Thoughtseize it or dodge it for game 3. Might need to be playing some. Honestly, like the Feed the Swarm seems okay too because it also gets rid of High Noon. I think I'm gonna mulligan this with no 1-drop. Basically the same hand, -1 card. But we have to keep this time. Yeah, the Airship is kind of a good tool against that too. Airship might be better. Mr. Lifeguard, the 40 months. Thank you. Welcome back. I'm starting to get worried I might have to focus on work today without streaming. Oh, no. I'm not going to stop you, though. Let's take a Thoughtseize, or take a look at their hand. They do have the Rest in Peace. I'm snapping that off. Drawing a 1-drop would be awesome to just go 1-drop Bagginses next turn. They're probably going to be playing this Voice of Victory. Cursetosser would be really cool. Go Cursetosser, Bagginses, kill their thing, draw a card, make a treasure. Okay. Yeah, we want to play this. We might buy something back with Nightmare. We find a Warren Soultrader. Okay, I guess we'll just go Bagginses. We find looking for a Gravecrawler would be nice. No Gravecrawler. We do find a Cursetosser, maybe. Or we do find one, but not sure that we're going to use it necessarily. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this card. I mean, I think it does make sense in this deck. No, I wasn't really thinking we'd be playing Soultrader deck anytime soon, but it seems like we got to one faster than I expected. Yeah, did we find the Trudge build? Okay, I see it. Yeah, this looks the main deck is almost just the Pro Tour list. Oh, he drew a Cursetosser for turn. So I think we'll go Nightmare. Behold the Warren Soultrader. Buy back another Soultrader, I think. They can't block. There's not another target in play right now. They do have the Guide of Souls in the hand. Yeah, I think we'll just play the Crypt here. I feel like Bagginses makes sense in a 4 airship build since you have Shambling Gas. You know what? That's actually, I think, a pretty good idea, is trying it in that kind of shell. Sideboard Warping Whale, I assume, for Druid is interesting. Curse Totem may just be better. So their hand is Static Prison, Guide of Souls, Witch Enchanter. Kind of happy they didn't just use this to fly the Ranger Captain, so they don't have it in a Azog. I think they should probably Static Prison my Bagginses though, because just having a creature in play with the Nightmare is pretty scary for them. Versus Neoform, yeah. Very good against Neoform. So drawn a copy of Flare of Malice. So let's go play a Nightmare. Buy back a Cursetosser. I was so excited when I realized that you can like all of a sudden like this whole like plan becomes available with this new build. I think I'm just gonna get back a Supplier. I need to find a Gravecrawler at some point. Okay, I did find a Gravecrawler. So I don't have my I also found an Apprentice Marionette. So yeah, let's go. I think let's go cast Gravecrawler so I can have the Flare of Malice up. And then let's buy back the I think I need the Marionette Apprentice because my left auto is a little bit too low. Cool. And also I've powered up the Crypt of Agadeem a little bit. Would Warping Whale or Curse Totem be better in separate slots? So Warping Whale is better against Living End and Neoform, right? It's also something you can board in against Boros. It's way more versatile. Curse Totem, it stinks it's turning off your Dryad Arbor. It stinks that it's turning off your Fanatic. But Curse Totem also, like, it is so insane against the Devoted Druid deck. Like, especially when they Earthbend on the land, it, like, locks that down. So, it kind of depends on how bad you think the Devoted Druid matchup is, I would guess. Sounds pretty weak unless they're really susceptible to this. The Great Goblin is a mono black card. Yeah, I was thinking about the Great Goblin. The thing is, you have to be more in on the goblins than we are here. It does work with Bowmaster, so if you're playing Bowmaster, you could fit it into this build. So I was kind of looking at that in a non-combo build, like maybe kind of like Great Goblin over Warren Soultrader a little bit, but I didn't necessarily love it. Why some people playing Warping Whale? Warping Whale helps some against Devoted Druid and Neoform, which are two tough matchups. We've got SCG Dallas in 2 weekends, and I think I'm playing Trudge, but I'm really not sure of the list. Guess I should have probably put this up a little sooner for someone taking this long. Oh yeah, sorry. I should move the record tracker up. My scene got kind of broken, or that's not. I edited my scene and then I don't know what happens with Streamlabs where I'll edit my scene in the morning and then I'll do my whole stream and I'll fire it up the next day and just all of the changes I've made have been undone. This happens really often and I don't know why. Okay, well yeah, let's go ahead and just cast Cursetosser turn 1. Okay. Oh, I meant to mention this. So, Cursetosser Flare can be really cool if they have a creature with power 2 or less and also a bigger creature. You can get both of them with the Flare. So like say they had like a Guide of Souls and a Ranger Captain in play. But it is a somewhat specific board that can allow that to happen. Sackville-Bagginses is kind of the best top deck right now. Bolg's Company, War Marshal, Nightmare. Yeah, so you could be Rakdos for sure, and that may totally be a fine way to build the deck. Yeah, I guess I'm okay with this trade. That may be a totally fine way to build the deck. One thing that I was kind of thinking about that is I think Crypt of Agadeem and Phyrexian Nightmare and the Black Land. I think that all of these are just okay, so if I sack this to Flare, they're going to sacrifice hold on. Oh, this works better than I thought. If I sack this to Flare, this resolves before they have to sacrifice. Okay, sorry, this is way better than I thought it was. Yeah. I for some reason I thought that they would go on the stack the opposite way. Now again, we are a little light on action. Okay, that's some good action. I really don't want them to block, so I guess I'm gonna do this. And we drew a backup copy. Can maybe sack the treasure token. Oh, sorry. I had a long day yesterday. We'll say. Okay, so they have another Ajani. Historically, one of the cards legal in modern. I'm gonna keep the hand hider up. I'm gonna keep it up. I'm just gonna keep it up for this game here. This is my chest hurt. Yeah. So get another card here. All right, play my Crypt of Agadeem tapped and pass the turn. Yeah, Flare of Malice is super good card. So what it feels like maybe happened is my opponent was thinking about bolting the Ajani and then they decided not to. All right, so I'm taking 4 down to 16. They've got 4 cards in their hand. It's interesting that we're seeing a bunch of Boros today. So they do have to respond to this trigger here. And they fail to. I think I'm just gonna get the Bagginses in play again. Sack the treasure token. Just need a little bit more action here. And then I could buy back like the Cursetosser maybe. Maybe it's better to like leave up the Spymaster's Vault. I think right now I'm just gonna leave up the just gonna play the Nightmare and pass. Okay. They sack both their cats, sure. Blue with the 14 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, Boros has been seemingly both kind of unpopular and poorly positioned, but Boros also does seem pretty good against Devoted Druid, so maybe it is better positioned than I have thought. Maybe it is kind of back. I don't know. So probably gonna get a second Pride here. Instead they get a Guide, sure. Yeah, I've not drawn an Azog. They didn't do it again. Well, this time I was holding up the Spymaster's Vault. Yeah, so now I can connive here to force them to sack something else. Yeah. Although I guess they just sacked the cat, so the ranger captain lives on. That's not as bad as I thought it was. Okay. Well, pass to you. Do you think the Badgermole deck is better than Devoted? Do you think the Badgermole deck we built or the Devoted Druid deck is better? We've been talking about this a lot, and I think that it was kind of a conversation before the Devoted Druid deck broke out. Like the Badgermole deck, Nantuko deck, higher card quality, a lot more resilient. Actually, like a deck that's favored against Boros Energy, like pretty good against Prowess. Like there are a lot of reasons to like that deck, and maybe there will be a metagame where that deck's better. However, if Devoted Druid is one of the big metagame decks, it's one of these decks that you're really preparing for, it does not matter because Devoted Druid is it's better against it's just faster than the Badgermole. You have a really good matchup against Badgermole. So all of a sudden there really isn't much reason to play unfortunately there's not much reason to play the version we were playing while Devoted Druid is legal because again Devoted Druid is so good against the normal Badgermole build. Don't have a lot of outs here, but we're playing it out. Spike, you gonna do a tier list soon for modern or nah? I don't really do that, I guess. I think that content is not that interesting maybe. Okay, so I found an Azog. I haven't played a land, right? I'm conniving 3. So I guess I'm gonna discard 1. I'm gonna have to sack my Soultrader to... Do I want a second Spymaster's Vault or first Phyrexian Tower? I guess I want second Spymaster's Vault. Alrighty, I guess not. I mean, yeah, I don't think so. Like, it's not really something I do, and I don't know. I don't know how interesting it is I don't feel like I want to be like the modern news reporter. You know what I mean? All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Here are the good decks in modern for this week. I don't know. Like that could be something I could do, but I really like to brew. I like to build decks, you know, and it's just a little different from someone who is grinding the top decks in the format. You know, it's just kind of a different thing. But I'm sure some people would like it. Okay, down a game. Jammy with the 30 months. Thank you. Welcome back. And I do always appreciate when people ask for different stuff. Gives me a little bit of an idea on what people are interested in. Yeah, I'll say that's a good comment so sometimes it's interesting. Like right now, it is a bit more interesting, right? Because modern is changing a lot. So I do think it's a bit more interesting right now. But there would definitely have been about an 18-month period where I've been like, Boros Synergy is the best deck in modern. With maybe like 2 weeks where I could have deluded myself otherwise. You could do a tier of brews. That is something I've always really wanted to find the time to do, is do like a weekly recap of brews. And I did one time, I did like for like the whole season of a set release, I did a recap on it, and it was probably the hardest I ever worked on a video. It took probably more than 20 hours, less than 30 hours. It was a really, really long video, and I didn't really get the amount of engagement I needed on it to, like, I think, continue the series seriously, unfortunately. But I did really like the idea of it, and so I do think if if the game I'm working on fails, and which it might fail, you know, I hope it doesn't. Do they have Sanctifier in back? Oh, damn it. I always say a Flare of Malice for it. If the game I'm working on fails, then and I have more time on my weekends to work on something like that, I would love to do that. At the moment, my weekends are really full of game design stuff, and I don't usually have a lot of time to. Yeah, I guess I will play this Gravecrawler. I don't usually. My life total is real low. I don't usually have a lot of time to work on extra YouTube stuff because I'm working on that. But if my game fails, then that's something that I plan to do. All right, so they drew a bombardment for the Ajani. See, I've milled Azog, Apprentice, Marionette. I have a lot of options. I think the best option is just going to be play an Airship. It's been a while since I played an Airship. Been playing your Barrett iTwitch list. Decided to add a Curse of Agadeem's Awakened. What do you think about those additions? I think they're both good additions. I'm a bit worried about the basic land count if you add Crypt of Agadeem for the Ponza matchup. If you cut Troll of Khazad-dûm, I'm a bit worried about playing some of the green cards off iTwitch, which I think are important cards, but not necessarily mandatory. But both cool, and I Recursive Marauder is one that I was wishing I had last time I played the deck. Although I do think Azog, despite Marauder being better against like Kappa Cannoneer and Scion of Draco sometimes, I think Azog kind of it fulfills the role in a pretty good way. So they do kill the Gravecrawler. They make a cap. I'm down to 11 life points. So I kind of have a weird decision point, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to play a Gravecrawler. Exile their graveyard. I'm going to crew an Airship. Killing Crawler feels like a good side. Well, they have to kill Crawler because it crews an Airship. So they've drawn a bolt or a discharge here. So I think I have to get this Nightmare out here since they're about to play Seasoned Pyromancer and nuke my board. Although I just don't know that this is how winnable the spot is now. Hopefully more winnable than I think. Not the worst to like beat Boros, lose to Boros as first start. They also may go Ranger Captain first here. This is worse, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm very dead here. My hand is just an Azog. I think we're moving on. Airship did look. I mean, we did lose the game. Maybe it didn't look that good. Speaking of unsolicited suggestions, how about a follow-up video teacher set reviews reflecting which cards performing well, etc. Yeah, that was also something I focused on in that other video I mentioned, where I think I split back the second crypt, where I like talked about the whole review. It's definitely doable, and again, the real okay. I don't have a lot of card draw. Yeah, I think I'm taking the Riddler here. Like the real thing is, when I went on, I remember like when I was an early content creator, Ross Merriam gave me some advice, and the advice was, there's people will always ask for more. They'll always ask for more content, and you just have to decide what you're actually going to do. Because the reality is, when you're self-employed and you're a content creator, one of the good things is there's no end to the amount of like things I can do. There's 24 hours a day. There's 7 days a week. I'm self-employed. I work for myself. I could do anything in those days. But just like in life, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. You just have to pick and choose your lane. And while I am open to doing more YouTube stuff with the game dev stuff I've decided to do, and I have got commitments, and I have an investor, and I've got partners. Like my weekends are mostly devoted to that right now, and they definitely will be until probably March of 2027. And hopefully, hopefully longer. Little out of action here. Found a frog, which is a pretty good pickup for them. Trawler's not the worst. It makes it to where they are gonna have a hard time flying the frog next turn. So March 2027 release date. That is the goal. A lot is moving, and the timeline is always like talking about the goal is announcements and available for pre-order in December, and the goal is full release in March. But this is subject to move, of course. So holding the swap in the hand to play around Thoughtseize a little bit, and they discard a Fatal Push. How's Green Red Goblins? You like it more or less than Mono Red? I didn't play it on stream. Off stream, I liked Mono Red a little bit more. I wanted to post it because we were talking about it, and I may still play it on stream. Maybe there's okay, they just passed. Great. Again, holding this. I also have the Surveil, or not the Surveil, the Connive land in the deck. Attack with Gravecrawler was wrong. It's kind of bad if they block and then push the Supplier and I lose the Gravecrawler. It's not the biggest deal, though. I know they cast the Fatal Push. I was teasing when I said they discarded it. They did discard a Bowmaster, then they discarded another push, and then I imagine they're going to fly the Frog here. I liked Attack with Crawler. I think Attack with Crawler was okay, but we know they have a Fatal Push in their hand, and so they can make it to where it's bad for us. Okay, so they do fly the Frog. It's interesting they're getting aggressive here because I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage in play. Like I'm winning this race with their attack. They seemingly draw a land. This is another frog. Another frog. Okay. Another frog is pretty good here. That makes the attack make more sense. I guess I'm sitting with the team here. Me and my buddies used to play Alliteration Modern. Every card in deck needs to start with the same letter. I think you'd love it. I don't know. I guess I just don't know why people think I love these goofy formats. You know, I like real formats. I like to brew in competitive situations. Not that I'm trying to say don't have fun with your friends, but for me, it's not the kind of thing I usually engage with very much. Yeah, I do. I did love Tiny Leaders. The thing is, Tiny Leaders did seem like it was a real format. It was a real format. Like there was like 20 people showing up to my LGS every week. Although the thing is, they only built like 3-color mid-range decks, and they couldn't beat my Azusa deck. But yeah, I'm just not usually that very interested in these like fan-made formats because, I find that they're just really uncompetitive and uninteresting. And what I like about brewing is getting to test my mettle. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Tiny Leaders decks, like the decks are like $1,000 sometimes. Like my deck was like people were playing, you know, the original duels and stuff. Like a lot of decks they just play a Watergrave and a Tundra and a Scrubland, and they're so expensive. I had a Mox Diamond in my deck and a Wasteland. I don't think I played Grim Monolith, but I had a lot of Hydras in my deck because you can only play spells like max out of 3. So I played like Genesis Hydra. I think I played another Hydra. Interesting that they're they're just discarding for the Riddler. Wait, why did they give the frog flying? I really thought they could block with the Cursetosser. My opponent's currently, you know, dead on the backswing, so they have to have something. Okay, that's something. I think this is exactly lethal, this Apprentice. They block, yeah, I think this is exactly lethal. Because they block the Trawler, then take an extra damage. Illusions, the 62, good to see you. EDH was fan made. We live in this world. Yeah, for sure. But the thing is, I just like to actually play the formats when they're popular. I like to play popular formats. You know, I like to play formats where there are thousands of people trying to build the best decks. Like that. These are environments I enjoy. That's what I think is fun. Okay, so we're gonna bring in the 4th Flare again. I'm gonna bring in the Airship for sure. I do want to keep in the Tasters. Let's see, I'm gonna cut the 4th Gravecrawler. Definitely want to keep my Azogs in. Could maybe keep the 4th Soultrader. It seems fine. Could maybe cut the 3rd Gravecrawler. Let's cut the 4th Soultrader. Mana Gorger. And in Tiny Leaders, I was playing Hydras with X spells, so I could just go over the top of the format a little bit. I remember. This was obviously like 10 years ago. Okay, on the draw for game 2. I think you got to keep this against Dimir. We're also getting Thoughtseize. So probably trading Thoughtseizes here, I would guess. Yeah. Okay, it's a good pickup. I think I'll just take the opportunity to play the Crypt tapped. Okay, so we won't need to flare this next turn, unless they play Tamio, I guess. They keep 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. Plays an island. It's a nice pickup. So I mill a Gravecrawler. Some tension, I guess, where our Crypt of Agadeem is not as online, but it's fine. Yeah, I feel like a lot of times when I play these decks, Spymaster's Vault doesn't get to make it, but when you play the Soultrader build, it becomes pretty mandatory, which is fun. I draw a Cursetosser. I guess it's not too relevant here. So I think I'm going to go sacrifice the Supplier. Maybe we could get lucky and mill 3 creatures and get a little mana jump off the Crypt. We mill 2 creatures. Not too bad. And I think I'm just going to go Sephiroth, sack a Gravecrawler. Maybe I should have trimmed some Cursetossers. They're like a little weird in the matchup. They can kill Tamio, they can kill Bowmaster, they can like make you your frog discard 2 sometimes. So they have a subtlety, they pitch Consign. I'm definitely going to keep this on top, but it's pretty bad if this doesn't get to stick. I put a lot of reps into Halo Forager, Soultrader. There seems to be a lot to like about it. Halo Forager. To buy back Living End. And Eye Twitch lets you loot it away. Is this better than playing Beseech the Mirror? Staying mono black? Maybe it is. Yeah, I'm feeling alright, Draven. Thanks for asking. So I don't have a Goblin to behold. I guess it's okay, because I could just go 4 mana, Gravecrawler, Gravecrawler, 3 mana for the Cursetosser. I want to play the Cursetosser out so I can sack it to Sephiroth to kill the Bowmaster. Does seem like they've got a counterspell in their hand also. Could also connive, but that's pretty bad into the Bowmaster. They may counterspell this if it's their last card, but they know my last card's Sephiroth, so kind of unclear if they would ever want to do that. I've done a lot of Beseech living in like Forge better because you could Nightmare Overload it back. Can't do with Beseech. Yeah, it's also like lower curve. I don't necessarily love playing 3 copies where like the only situation that this card is good is when you have a Living End in the yard, although maybe you're just like a lot better at getting Living End into the yard than I think you are. Playing these mono black decks against Dimir is really fun, where the matchup kind of devolves into I have a bunch of 1 mana 2/1s against your Fatal Push deck, and some of them are just coming back to life. So yeah, I was thinking that I would like this kind of block because I drew the Nightmare. So let's go make a bunch of mana, cast a Gravecrawler, bait a counterspell with the Sephiroth. That they may not have, but I think that they do have. Okay, and then if their last card is second counterspell, then we're still ahead. And if it's not, we're really, really ahead. It's a second Bowmaster. Okay. So if I... Yeah, I mean, I think I should Nightmare back the Cursetosser. Halo Fortune cards the opponent's yard. That's true. Oh no, let's get back the Marionette Apprentice so that I have 2 creatures in play, so I'm not as weak to top deck removal spell. They fucked up this turn. Yeah, I think yeah, I think so. They top deck a Riddler though. Riddler into Land Frog, pretty good. So the land is gonna let them cast the Riddler next turn. I also just have I have 3 of the destroy a creature goblins. I haven't had it in like any of these nightmare situations yet, but okay, I'll block. I don't know what this is about. I just think this has 1 toughness, I guess. Okay, so let's go make a bunch of mana. I drew a Sackville-Bagginses. Okay, they're just gonna concede. Deck's looking pretty good. Could try this on the draw. So probably playing Trudge. Cursetosser kills Fanatic, doesn't kill Trudge. Does kill Arbor, although we have to have an answer. You have to wait to kill the Cursetosser. Do I want to take both Myco spawns and leave them with fight rigging? I guess if I take 1 Myco spawn, they can still play the other next turn. So I guess we take one of the just take the rigging now. There's a Spider-Man avatar? It's pretty cool. So are they gonna get a bridge? I feel like I'd be getting a bridge here. They got a lab? They just want to kick the other Myco spawn, I guess. So I guess I need to go Cursetosser, Behold. And then next turn I can Azog, kill my own Cursetosser, and kill the Dryad Arbor or the Fanatic. Probably the Fanatic. And then I get a 2/2 Goblin in play. Maybe the Fanatic is worse to kill, though, because of the Eternalize. Yeah, I think actually I want to just kill the Arbor. I miss Harry and TG Viz. You remember the guy? Yeah, Harry's a friend of mine. I visited him in London a few years ago, and he was talking about how he just wasn't really liking making videos, and his goal was to learn Chinese and move to China and teach English over there. And I think that's what he did, but I haven't kept up, unfortunately. They have now a good tact. Fight rigging, kind of a scary top deck. But turns on the Fanatic too. So I think I'm going to Trawler their graveyard so this Emrakul is more difficult to cast, and this will give me the ability to double block against a Myco spawn. It's a green sun? Just a Trudge. Okay. Good matchup for the Soultrader combo too, by the way. They don't cast the card? Just 4 lands? I don't think I've ever seen that. Okay, I'm just going to try to get a little bit more power and toughness in play. Sus? I don't know what's sus. It's not like they're playing around anything. Oh yeah, they should have cast the Trudge for more. I mean, it's kind of easy to forget you can do this sometimes. But yeah, maybe I guess that's what's sus. Maybe I should have held the Trawler, so like if I drew a tower, I could have killed the Fanatic and then exiled the Fanatic. I guess I want to kick it. I mean, they had mana to kick it. Maybe they might have just misclicked too. Yeah, it seems like they just misclicked. We're a Flare of Malice deck, so I don't think we're conceding just yet. Azog can kill Emrakul also. Don't know what they're gonna do with the Azog. Any interest in key elementals? Well, I'll take a look. This is a perfect time to send a deck because my opponent's controlling my turn. Do not do this. do not main deck Kihira under any. I don't care how many key to the side doors you have. But I think this is also just a bad deck building for Key probably, where like Key is really good with like 0 and 1 drops. It's okay with 2 drops, and you've got 8 of those, and I think it's bad with 3 and 4 drops for the most part. Maybe some exceptions like Tezzeret, where like Tezzeret like untaps Key, tutors Key, and stuff like that. But I don't think Key is good in this shell. And then this is also an archetype that has access to plenty of card advantage options. Like the problem with this archetype is not card advantage. I will say, this you probably meant this for to be Curse Totem instead of Gritting Totem, but Elementals is cool because it's a good Curse Totem deck. Okay, so they play Azog, and then they kill their own Fanatic. Then they're going to attack, and I'm going to lose like a couple creatures. And if I draw Nightmare, Flare of Malice, or the third Azog, I can kill Emrakul. Nightmare will be extra good because I would be able to get back the Trawler, exile the Fanatic. Yeah, Nightmare's puts me really ahead, I think. Okay, Thoughtseize. Just a little lost in the sauce in the build, I think. So a little bit of tension where I want both Vexing Bauble and Flare of Malice. I think it's okay. We can hardcast this, we can sequence, we can sack. I'm bringing the Break the Ices also, and I think the Fulminators are okay. Maybe they're a little expensive. I'm gonna cut the Tasters, cut the Cling. I'm gonna keep in the combo. I think I'm gonna trim a Cursetosser. Trim the Sephiroth a little slow, maybe. So then I think I'm running out of room for these Fulminators to break the ice a bit better. Cursetosser are bad. I mean, killing Fanatic and killing Arbor is good. Maybe I could go down to 2 copies. I think I want 3. Okay, I'll go down to 2. I like having Soultrader and I like having Vexing Bauble. I guess let's keep. We have a Spymaster's Vault, so we can potentially connive away some of these extra stuff. And also, Spymaster's Vault is like a Gravecrawler is now or close to a win because you can start conniving with the Spymaster's Vault. Kind of shocking we don't have a 1/1 Goblin that makes a treasure when it dies. That does exist, doesn't it? Maybe I should I be playing it? Are you saying it's that card does exist, right? No, it's a zombie. It's a zombie, not a goblin. Sorry. Zombie, not a goblin. Sorry about that. Okay, well, easy Thoughtseize since they have they have 2 pairs and they need the Mycospawn so they can get the Temple for K command. Hopefully they don't draw a Temple for K command soon. Draw Fight Rigging. I draw a copy of Flare of Malice. Dude, I guess I'm just on 3/3s and hate cards here. what a weird game. They're at 11 life. This is a game of Modern right here. So if I find another spell for the second Spymaster's Vault, I cobble together the most awkward lethal. Oh, okay, well. Went from awkward lethal to infinite combo. With the other Spymaster's Vault. Or not infinite combo, but a combo. Okay. Weird. Let's go to game 3. I think I like our configuration. Awesome. So this hand is kind of perfect, where we have the combo and a Thoughtseize. Kind of exactly what you want to have against Trudge. The green set for an armor turn 1. And I drew a Vexing Bauble, wow. So how do we want to sequence this? I think I'm leaning on Thoughtseize into Gravecrawler, Vexing Bauble. And this card does like nothing against me, right? It stops Apprentice Marionette ETB. It stops Azog ETB. I think it does. I guess that's more than this Elder Gargaroth, which seems like it will, against my hand is so bad right now. Oh, I guess yeah, I do have the Bagginses ETB. Okay, so let's behold this Warren Soultrader, and then let's go sacrifice the Cursetosser to the tower. And just go 1-2. I guess the problem with the Baggins, I do have to have a higher life total than my opponent, which I don't currently. Maybe this will be an issue. They play a Trudge with only a single stun counter. Do this. Turn to Azog. So we are set to win next turn. Their hand is Beseiju, Elder Gargaroth, mystery card. Hopefully they don't have a fight rigging, I guess. I think we're good. I guess I can afford a Thoughtseize. Bagginses has been pretty good. But I'm maybe interested in cutting the Sephiroth for the third copy. For that, like the mana curve is really nice on it. So we're 3-1. Let's get a 4-1 prediction. Oh yeah, we had the sorry, I forgot we had the Vexing Bauble for fight rigging. Although they can get a cast trigger still. It's kind of the awkward part about Vexing Bauble against Trudge. They were last seen playing Jeskai Energy 2 days ago. Which I think is this list that's running around. Just like Quantum Energy splashing for the good red cards. I mean, makes a lot of sense, I guess. I'm gonna keep this. I guess I'm gonna put back the Cling to Dust. Yeah. Trying to figure out what matchup Ores for. Blink. Quantum Energy. Titan is okay. Blink is like weirdly popular. I don't exactly understand how it got popular again. Am I still brewing Lutri? New Bilbo could fit into it. Lutri remains like in the bag for a day where I'm just completely out of ideas. If you see me playing Lutri, I had a bad night of playtesting and I decided to update Lutri and have some fun. But that hasn't happened in a long time. Things have been good. Great. So I try to avoid a Solitude. Let me see. So I could go. I'm holding control. And always add black. Interesting. My opponent says cool combo. Thank you. So we're also 4 for 4 boarding in the 4th Flare of Malice. I could see main decking the 4th one. I think it is really good in the metagame. Definitely want another Airship. Or an Airship, sorry. And I think I'm gonna trim a Gravecrawler and a Soultrader against this like really interactive build. Sure. Curious how you would build Asmo Key to the side door. Do you think a Monument to Endurance or Time Save build would be better? I don't know. Like obviously there's some synergy where Key discards and enables Asmo. Asmo is an archetype that I think is pretty bad right now. I don't know what I would do to make it good. I'm really like ambush or it's not ambush viper, rotten mouth viper like pilled. Like I like that card a lot. So I guess I would be trying to play that. So we're just keeping combo plus flare. My opponent also mulliganed to 6. They graveyard a copy of Ragavan. Pretty bad card in the matchup. So they're going to go sack the cat token. Did you want to flare, Johnny? I think you want to wait. Too bad they targeted the servo, so the crawler. I guess that was kind of always going to happen. Okay, sack the Gravecrawler. And this is creature or planeswalker, so it's not like they can flip, but they can go sack a Johnny and sack their Pride to kill my Apprentice if they want. Let a Johnny flip resolve. It does. Oh, sorry. Yes, I should have let it resolve because they could sack it to bombardment, of course. Sorry about that. My opponent doesn't sack it to bombardment to correct the board state. I do think I want to wait a turn on the Soultrader so I can try to play it and combo off all at once. The thing is, this Pride is just, it's not really doing a lot. I guess it could do a lot if they gain some life. Turn 1 Book, turn 2 Azog, good versus the Boogeyman in the format, devoted Druid. It's too slow on the draw. I guess you have the activation up on the draw still. Maybe it is good. Maybe I should attack with the Apprentice there. So they've got 2 cards in their hand. They have an encampment, I guess, so they could kind of use this as a shock with the bombardment. So they do activate the encampment this turn. So I'm going to put my Azog in front of here, and then I guess I'm kind of just expecting them to kill the Apprentice Marionette. And then ping me for 1, I suppose. Okay. Draw a Nightmare. So I don't think I can combo kill here. Let me attack for 1. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go get Apprentice back and just replay the Nightmare and leave it in play. You can combo. I'm close because I can go cast Soultrader off the servo, but then I can't keep the Apprentice in play and then combo. So they play a Guide and a Ragavan. And they pass the turn. Okay. Does Turbo Airship Goblins actually make a lot of sense? I should have left up the tower, maybe. Doesn't seem like it. What does the word turbo in this situation mean to you? I think Airship is a fine sideboard card right now. I think I am interested in going a little bit more in on the Airships because like it's pretty good when they boarded like sideboard cards for you. So I think I'm interested in going.